Hello and welcome to TradeFlow Television,
bringing you valuable analysis and actionable intelligence
for the global commodity markets.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
China's November crude oil imports rose from a month earlier as customs continued to clear the backlog, although independent refiners slowed purchases as they reached their import quota limits. China brought in 45.36 million tons of crude oil last month, equivalent to 11.04 million barrels per day, BPD, data from the General Administration of Customs showed on Monday. That compares with 42.56 million tons in October and was 0.8% less than the level in November 2019.
Behind the walls of a hulking industrial compound in rural China, top pig producer Muyuan Foods 002714, SZ is trying to raise more hogs on a single site than any company in the world, a risky investment with deadly African swine fever lingering. The new farm, which began construction in March and started operations at the first of its 21 buildings in September, epitomizes the breakneck pace at which huge, industrialized hog breeding facilities are replacing small, traditional farms, many of which were wiped out by the worst animal disease outbreak in recent history.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Iran has instructed its oil ministry to prepare installations for production and sale of crude oil at full capacity within 3 months, state media said on Sunday, ahead of a possible easing of U.S. sanctions after President-elect Joe Biden takes office. They quoted President Hassan Rouhani as saying that Iran exported more than 2 million barrels a day before U.S. President Donald Trump exited the 2015 nuclear deal with 6 powers in 2018 and reimposed sanctions that have hit Iran's economy hard by sharply cutting its vital oil exports.
Oil prices slipped on Monday as the positive impact from COVID-19 vaccine news and an OPEC Plus deal on oil production cuts was undermined by surging coronavirus cases and heightened tensions between the United States and China. Brent crude fell 16 cents to $49.09 a barrel by 11:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 16:17 GMT. U.S. crude fell 18 cents to $46.08 a barrel. Both oil contracts gained around 2% last week after OPEC Plus, comprising of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries (OPEC) and its allies, agreed to increase output slightly from January but continue the bulk of existing supply curbs.
Moving on to metal price moves. China's November copper imports fell for a second consecutive month to a 6-month low, customs data showed on Monday, as the closure of a favorable price arbitrage window made bringing in metal from overseas, as well as bonded storage, less attractive. Arrivals of unwrought copper and copper products totaled 561,311 tons last month, the General Administration of Customs said. That was down 9.2% from 618,108 tons in October, but up 16.2% from November 2019.
Gold rose more than 1% to a 2-week high on Monday, on expectations of fresh fiscal stimulus in the U.S. and a subdued dollar. Spot gold prices were 1.3% higher at $1,861.26 per ounce by 10:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 15:16 GMT, after rising to their highest since November 23 at $1,863.26 earlier. U.S. gold futures rose 1.4% to $1,865.80. With pressure mounting on the U.S. Congress to help people and businesses hit hard by the pandemic, talks aimed at providing relief gathered momentum, and lawmakers worked to put the finishing touches on a new $908 billion bill.
Finally, we have the most recent news on the financial market.
A Singapore hedge fund that specializes in slow and steady returns from financing commodity trades will begin offsetting carbon emissions from its shipments. TradeFlow Capital Management Private will purchase carbon offsets through partners such as CarbonFund.org Foundation and Air Carbon Exchange, the company said in a press release. It's starting by tackling shipping emissions, with plans to expand to potentially cover millions of tons of commodity life cycle emissions. While the fund is relatively small in the world of global commodities trade, its move underscores the pressure money managers are under to meet sustainability goals increasingly demanded by investors. That is all for today's news on the commodity market. Stay tuned to TradeFlow TV as we continue to provide you with more updates. You can also follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow TV1, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop.